Many of y'all got a really bad habit, and that bad habit is that you think that pretty words fix every goddamn thing. There's a guy named Joshua Abear. He doesn't care about right or wrong, he cares about winning. He saves up all these pretty words and these pretty memes. Most of them he didn't make himself, he stole them from a guy named Jeff. Jeff used to be the president of the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws in Colorado. He died of cancer, by the way, which is proof that marijuana will not prevent you from getting cancer. That's not what this video is about, though. I'm not trying to say that marijuana is a bad thing. Matter of fact, in most cases, I have noticed that other than the effects of getting a job, most people function better on marijuana. Now, functioning better is completely different from being, well, actually functional. If you've got emotional turmoil, smoking a J might help you to make things okay temporarily, but it's not recommended that you get your ass behind the wheel. If you are stoned, just like somebody who is drunk, you are inhibited. Now, this is not what the video is about, so let's get to what the video is about. There's a woman I know. I actually helped to find her a few years ago. Quite a few years ago, 2014, she went missing. We were able to find her, thank goodness. Now, here's one of them pretty memes, pretty sayings, so on and so forth. It says, if you continue to carry the bricks from your past, you will end up building the same house. You know, I like Confucius. I like the Confucianisms, which most of them didn't actually come from Confucius. They came almost 1,000 years after Confucius. Some of them started up around 500 years after Confucius died, but the thing is, most of the stuff that we attribute to Confucius is not Confucius. Confucius says. I don't care what he says. I really don't. I do like Confucianism, just like I like Buddhism, just like I like Christianity, just like I like Islam, just like I like Judaism. There's good and bad in every religion. Now, if you continue to carry the same bricks from your past, this is a metaphor. Let me explain to you that metaphors don't fix shit. A metaphor is to help teach the lesson, but it doesn't fix anything. And if you don't learn the lesson, it certainly isn't going to fix anything. What do the bricks stand for in this particular case? It's got no context whatsoever. It's just if you carry the bricks from your past, you will end up building the same house. Well, first of all, why did you tear down the first house to begin with? Second of all, any of you who have ever played with Legos know that you can take the Legos apart and you can put them together in a different order and make something entirely different. You can literally take the bricks from a square house, disassemble that entire house, and then make a round house using the same exact bricks. Now, here's what I wrote to her. Of course, I don't mean it as an insult or to say that she's an idiot. As far as I know, she may not be the smartest person that I know, or anywhere near the smartest person I know, but she's nowhere near the dumbest. Matter of fact, she's not someone I would even consider dumb. I do consider her intelligent. I wrote to her, I've torn down many houses and I've built new ones out of the rubble. These memes bypass reality entirely. If the big bad wolf wants to blow my house in, I want a house made of bricks. If he tries chasing me while I'm carrying the bricks, I'll drop the bricks. Not so I can run, because I'll only die tired. Dropping the bricks allows me to face my opponent and grants me access to heavy projectiles. Animals get scared when you can throw things at them. This is actually true. I've actually been in situations where, yes, picking up something and being able to throw it, not even at the animal, just in that general direction. When you throw it, they freak out because, well, they don't see things throwing things. They don't see bears throwing bricks at each other. They don't see wolves throwing bricks at each other. It freaks them out that you are able to do such a thing. Anyway, it says, animals get scared when you can throw things at them. You ever see a wolf or a bear throw a brick? No, which is why it confuses and worries them. It's usually best to avoid confrontation, but when you can't, make a stand. You'll only die tired. That's probably the most important thing out of all of that. When people say, you just need to let it go, it doesn't occur to them that you are being pursued. If you've got a bear that is chasing after you, obviously you don't want to be carrying 80 pounds worth of bricks. At the same time, who says you're carrying those bricks to even build a house? Maybe you're building a fortification to protect yourself from wild animals, or, well, people are the wildest animals I'm aware of. George Costanza wrote, "What's up?" Hey, George, good morning. Now let's go to another one. See, here's the thing about pretty memes. Let's say I'm telling you about the people who are victimizing me in real life. Let's say I'm telling you about people like Robert Warnick or Christopher Kurth. If I'm telling you about one of them and about all of the crap that they're putting me through, including the threats and assaults, telling me if you can continue to carry the bricks from your past, you will end up building the same house. That doesn't apply to the situation. I'm not building a fucking house. I'm trying to take care of my personal safety and the safety of my loved ones. When you want to use a pretty meme like this in somebody's situation, they have actual problems and you're throwing pretty goddamn words at them. Pretty words. Kind of like, you got to love yourself. If somebody is raping you every single day, is loving yourself going to stop the rape? No, it's not. And the reason that I use rape when I'm explaining this stuff, even though there are many, many heinous crimes, is because rape is something that people will stop and listen to. If they go, oh, rape, that's obviously wrong, they look at it differently. People aren't going to make excuses for rape the way that they make excuses for shooting another human being in the head. When you shoot somebody else in the head, people will argue over whether or not it was okay to shoot them. It is never okay to rape somebody, ever. Wrong is wrong. Whether it's rape or murder, it's still wrong. Now let's go to the next one. These are all going to be from the same person. Here's one. It says, that's what a trigger does. It turns you into a bullet. It takes a rare and particular kind of courage to also be a shield, to stand unflinchingly between your trauma and those that you love. Now, obviously, Well, this is stuff that I have been doing unflinchingly against many people. Many of the people who I considered friends ended up being predators, not just towards me. Now, most of us out on the streets have PTSD. We've been abused a lot. There's a woman who, hopefully, she'll tell her story. When you're raped and you go to the cops might do something. When you're homeless and you're raped, they don't do jack shit. Especially when been beaten in the head so profusely that your speech is affected. And now you sound like somebody who's got the IQ of a rock because you've got brain damage from being beaten. Not okay. Now this one right here, we'll let this one go just because it's, well, going to be a complicated one to break into it. This one says, now mind you, the person that I sent this to understood what I'm trying to say as far as this goes well enough to press the little I love it button. George Costanza wrote, GD evening, mate. Good evening. It says, be with someone who says, let's fix this. I can't lose you. Now, mind you, this is a woman who's posting this, not a man. I replied, then you don't need a man, and nobody can fix you except you, and I'm a strong, independent woman, and don't be a psycho. If you can't lose them, you're obsessed and need to seek therapy. No means no. I can't lose you. If a man says that, it means that he is being possessive. If a woman says that, somehow magically it means something different. No, it doesn't. Women are 11 times more likely to be stalkers than men for a reason. It's because they're more likely to get away with it. This is the problem with allowing all these predators to go. When I tried to tell on Waylon Lolatai for assaulting me, people wanted to tell me just to let it go. They didn't want to stop to think about how much it affects my life, how much it affects my safety or my ability to get somewhere safe or to even see my loved ones, to be able to go to where I need to go to get help. They don't think about the monetary costs, and they sure as hell don't think to themselves, well, we let Waylon Lolatai, who is a Boulder officer, get away with assaulting Sean Schwartz. It should be okay. And what did Waylon Lolatai do? He got a big head on him, and he assaulted at least 6 more people that he assumed were homeless in that very same year. Oh, dude, I know you just went out, all right? I was here when he took you out. I was here when he left. It has been less than 20 minutes, all right? Oh, fucking dog. Mm. See, I don't need a woman. I need a dog. A lot of people, their cure for my problems, they wanted to tell me, Schwartz, you just need to get laid. That's what they call me in Chapel, Nebraska. A lot of people are known by their last names. Especially since Sean, which is my first name, is probably one of the most popular names in Nebraska. Especially if you were born between 1975 and 1995. It's about a 20-year period there. When I was in the prison, Sean was the most popular name in the prison. In one of the units that I was on alone, there were 7 Seans while I was there. 7 of them. Now, in these easy fixes that people want to put up there, what's the context? If somebody is trying to tell you the context of the situation and you're typing shit like this at them, thinking this is going to fix it, no, it's not. If someone's being raped, they don't need your pretty fucking words. They need help stopping the rape. They need help getting to a safe environment. And that's what I've needed this whole time. Now, there's a difference between a safe environment where you can actually do the things that you need to do and a safe environment so far as, well, I've got a roof over my head. Well, then you're safe from the elements, but nothing else. Right after Natalie died, people kept on telling me to go to the homeless shelters. Holy shit, that's a stupid idea. Now, they thought it was a good idea. Oh, this is a homeless guy. If we send him to a homeless shelter, magically all his problems go away and he'll be safe. No, the way that I was painted by the media in the state of Colorado, I had homeless people assaulting me and homeless people assaulting each other in front of me over whether or not I killed Natalie. Obviously, going to a fucking homeless shelter is not going to be a positive goddamn thing. Of course, when you're talking about people who have never been through this and don't want to understand what it's like, they just want their pretty meme to fix it. You want your pretty meme to fix it. You want your bullshit to fix it. Oh, well, I told Sean to love himself. He's just got to love himself. And look how much better he's doing. See, it's all because of me, because I told him he's just got to love himself. Or in reality, the people who actually helped me weren't telling me ignorant, fucking stupid, assumptive bullshit like that. If I didn't love myself, I wouldn't be fighting for the fucking rights that I'm supposed to, but don't have. And if I didn't love these other people, well, I'd have killed myself already. People got all these pretty words that they want to give you. They're a waste of time. If I'm telling you about the son of a bitch who's raping me, I'm trying to get help stopping the rape. You telling me I just gotta love myself is dismissive as fuck. That's like slapping me in the fucking face for trying to get help. It's not okay. This is the world that we live in. When you're homeless, man, that shit goes from one end of the country to the other like wildfire. See, the homeless society is a revolving society. People don't generally stay in the same area for very long because the cops and the general public will harass you until you leave, up to and including making false charges. The police, when you're homeless, don't care because they're aware that the courts don't care. Even your own public pretender does not care. They will not defend you. Telling me I just have to love myself or I just have to move on or not to carry bricks. Ah! It's nice when you can move on. When you see a bear out in the woods, it's nice when people say, hey, if you see a bear, just walk the other way. And you know what? That's a great fucking idea. Go away from the danger. However, when you're walking away from that bear and it's pursuing you, is running away going to help you? No, it's not. A bear can run faster than you can. The fastest man on earth runs about 27 miles an hour. Bears run about 30 miles an hour. So even a big, fat, overweight bear is going to catch the fastest man on the planet. You could always climb a tree, right? Bears can climb trees, dumbass. Maybe if you climb up a tree and the bear's trying to get you, you kick it in the snout enough times that it gives up. I doubt it, though. Loving yourself in that situation, how do you show that you love yourself in that situation? You're hanging on by a branch in a tree. What happens if you let go? You're gonna fucking die. Duh. Loving yourself when you're being attacked by a bear means fighting for survival. Actually fighting, literally fighting. Loving yourself when police officers are murdering disabled people and homeless nationwide. They're killing the homeless at over 250 to 1 ratio over Black Americans. Over 250 to 1. I'm not allowed to defend myself because I'm not the right color to be a victim. I'm not allowed to defend myself because I'm not the right gender to be a victim. This is what we want to sell. But in reality, well, boys are a lot more likely to be victimized by women than the other way around. They are more likely to have their goods stolen. They are more likely to have half of everything that they busted their ass for stolen. They are more likely to be forced to pay child support payments for children that are not theirs, even if they can prove that they're not the daddy. Now, if you have taken care of a kid for most of their life, and it turns out that it's not your kid, as a male, you don't have a whole lot of options. You can try to fight it in court, it's going to cost you a lot of money. Now, that woman, because you have taken care of that child for that many years, it no longer matters that she lied to you outright so that you would waste your life taking care of a child that is not yours. You waited too long to do something about it, and now that child is considered legally your responsibility. That woman can not only take money out of your account and have your driver's license taken away and have your bank account stripped over a child that's not even yours, she can legally prevent you from seeing that child that you have taken care of for most of its life and paid for most of its life. And now you are going to continue having to pay that money, but you aren't even allowed to see the kid. You just got to love yourself. Telling someone that they just got to love themselves does not fix the situation. Telling them that they just need to move on does not fix the situation. Loving yourself sometimes means not letting go. Then there's the part where, of course, this lady, she goes back and forth between being a strong, independent woman and needing a man. She goes back and forth between hating sex and literally on her Facebook trying to proposition someone to have sex with her. But then you see on her Facebook, it depends on which guy it is that's hitting on her. If he's a good looking feller who's just a couple of years older than her, well, most girls in the United States are taught that they're supposed to like a man who's taller than them, who's older than them. If she's got a good looking guy who's 5 years older than her, 10 years older than her, even 20 years older than her, well, she's going to give that guy a lot more attention than the fat kid that she went to high school with who's still got a crush on her after 15 years. She does often talk about how terrible men are. In specific, though, the 3 men that she bitches out the most are all 3 still in her life. I can tell which one she's bitching about based on what she types, though, because I know these men. 2 of them, anyway. The third one is some old pervert who had sex with her when she was underage, and that fucks people's heads up. And it's not like she was raped by the guy. She had consensual sex with him. She pursued him. She wanted this relationship. She wanted to get out of her mom's house. You know, she wanted to get away from her stepdad, who was always calling her a whore and things of that nature. You know, she wanted to get out of there, and this much older guy was her ticket out of there. But much of the stuff that she's typing, she goes back and forth and back and forth. I don't need a man. I don't need a man. I'm a strong, independent woman. Followed by messages like this one. Be with someone who says, let's fix this. I can't lose you. If you tell somebody that you can't lose them, in most people's minds, that makes you a psycho, especially if you're not physically attractive or you're not rich. If you're rich or physically attractive, oh, this means he really does love me. Whoa, hold on a second. Are you saying that an ugly dude is incapable of loving you? Are you saying that a broke man is incapable of loving you? No, that's not what you're saying. What you're saying loud and clear is that you don't want a broke man. You don't want a man who is not physically attractive. Now, according to at least 3 different universities that did studies on how likely a man or a woman are to find a potential mate, well, these universities found that less than 0.4% of man or percent of men are this perfect thing that you are trying to model. You know, the nicest people that I know, the kindest people that I know, have gone through the most hell. Many of them went through hell because they were obese, or because they were short, because they were bald, because they got big noses, because they were covered in pimples, or because they had parents that couldn't stay off the fucking drugs. Your pretty words don't stop rape. Telling someone to let it go does not stop the rapist. The rapist goes free because you are a fucking moron. When it happens to you, you won't fucking like it. You will wish that people would be on your side and listen to you and help you with your problems. But chances are pretty good that they are going to tell you things like, let me unlock my phone here and make sure I quote this correctly. Be with someone who says, let's fix this. I can't lose you. Or you just got to love yourself. Or a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. Confucius say, man who stand on toilet, high on pot. Confucius say, man who have sex while lying on back, fucking up. Confucius say, man who fly upside down, have crack up. Confucius. Are you Confucius yet?